Trav created a pack of iPhone icons that allowed him to generate over 140,000 US dollars in just 6 days. I'm going to be breaking down this video into 3 sections. The first section is the story behind how he made over 100K in 6 days. I'm going to be taking a look at what he sold, how he made it, what made it go viral, and then how much money he made. The second part of this video is going to be the key insights into what increased his odds of going viral online. And then the third part is going to be the lessons that we can take away for our own growth online. If you want to skip ahead to any particular part in this video, I have listed all of the timestamps right here. Part 1 is the story of how he made over 100K in 6 days. So back in September, Apple launched the iOS 14 update, and with it came the function to customize your iPhone icons on your homepage. If you're on the internet at the time of this launch, you would have seen that it was a huge trending topic. A lot of people online were sharing photos of their homepages on Twitter and Instagram. No one had been able to customize the iPhone icons before, so the fact that they could now do it meant that there was a huge spike in Google Trends. People were searching how to do it, where to find different kinds of iPhone icons. They really wanted to customize it because a lot of people on Android, they've had this feature for years, but Apple have never allowed us to customize our iPhones. So the fact that we could now do it meant that there was this huge boom of people searching for it online, considering that most people have an iPhone. This inspired Trav to share his own screenshots online with his community over on Twitter, and he showcased all of the icons that he had personally made for himself. This was a minimalistic monochrome design, and it was an instant hit with users describing it as clean, slick, and a design aesthetic. A few days after his tweet went viral, he spoke to the BBC and he said, "Right away, people started asking about the icons in the screenshot. So I quickly packaged them, but with no notion of what an iOS icon set should be priced at. So I set the price at $28, which is approximately £22. Obviously, this is quite a high price to charge for some app icons, but this example proves that if you charge a high enough price for a high quality product when there is a demand for it, you are going to get the customers and you're going to make a lot more money than if you charged a lower price." Trav created these iPhone icons, which included over 120 custom icons in 4 separate colors: black, slate, cobalt, and white. A day after posting this tweet, it had hundreds of retweets, thousands of likes, and over 100,000 impressions. The day after that, it was up to 1 million, and before he knew it, it was everywhere. It got featured in a bunch of publications and websites such as Cult of Mac, iMore, All Things Tech, and Gridfity, whatever the heck that is. But he mentioned at this particular moment his sales were at the 6K mark. But there was a huge boom and it jumped up to 40K and he didn't know why. And that's what I like to call the MKBHD effect. So what is the MKBHD effect, I hear you ask? Well, if you don't know who MKBHD is, he is a tech YouTuber who's been making videos now for about 10 years. And he made a video showcasing his icon pack and sort of how he was designing his iPhone case. And in that video, he mentioned Trav. Loads of people loved Trav's iPhone icons, and MKBHD left a link in the description.
I'll link this icon pack and some other cool ones below for some stylized, themed home screens full of Siri shortcuts.
Which instantly blew up, and his sales jumped from 6,000 all the way up to 40,000 overnight. And he mentioned in his blog post that he felt like he was making $28 every 28 seconds, which is nuts. He even had to go ahead and turn off his notifications because he just kept getting notifications saying that people were buying it, and his phone was just constantly blowing up. According to the latest figures released, he has made more than 140,000 US dollars, and he's just sold those icons to over 5,000 customers. Now, the latest figures that I have access to were from October. I'm now recording this in January, so I imagine that it's gone up quite a bit since then. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's made about $200,000 just from this single iPhone pack. And I imagine he's going to continue to make money on this over the next few years because it's such a simplistic and nice design that it's very easy for him to keep updated and for people to like this design and want to keep using it for years to come. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the specifics of the actual product launch, I will also link his blog post down in the description below so you can read about it. But right here are sort of the short-term and the long-term metrics. You know, he listed all of these numbers on his website, so you can go ahead and look through those. You know, some of the most interesting ones are things like his new email subscribers and Twitter followers, because those are the people he can sell future designs and other products to in the future. Part number 2 of this video is the key insights into what increased his odds. I think that Trav had the right content posted at the right time. He had a fantastic product that a lot of people wanted, and he had a fantastic landing page for this product, which just helped the customer experience tremendously. This was powered by Gumroad and Notion. The fact that this was a hot trending topic at the time also, I think, really helped this product. It was trending for weeks on Instagram and Twitter. A lot of people have never been able to do this before, so a lot of people were excited and were sharing. And so I think that a lot of people have been able to see Trav's iPhone set a lot more than what they would have been able to, you know, if this had happened prior, or if this was happening right now, many months after that initial iOS 14 update. And then when you combine that with MKBHD's audience and that video, I think that it just poured more gasoline on the fire, and it just allowed him to have these insane results. Trav listed on his blog post a couple of the factors that he believed really played into his success. The first factor that he mentions is to publish often, and when he says this, he means through building in public on places like Twitter, continuously showing what it is that you're building, how you're doing it, is actually a greater way of you taking yourself from where you currently are to where you want to be. A single tweet is all it took for him to see that there was an audience that wanted his product. And from there, they did the rest for him. They marketed that product and it just snowballed. And that was only because he was publishing often all of the different things that he's creating online. In his case, I think that this experience probably has changed his life tremendously. Not just because he made like an unbelievable amount of money in such a short amount of time, but because his eyes have now been opened to how much money can actually be made with just a couple of hours work for a single product. That's something that not many of us can say we truly understand or know. We can watch videos like this, we can read examples and case studies on blog posts and kind of understand it, but we don't truly know and understand it, not until it really happens to you. And I think for him, this is probably something that's so binary and easy in his head that he understands what it means to build in public and why you should publish often on sites like Twitter, because there is tremendous upside. Trav could have easily ignored the requests for these icons or pointed them to a marketplace online, but he didn't. He decided very quickly to package these goods up, create a very quick and easy landing page in Notion, and just get it out there to capture this audience that were, you know, loving all of this stuff online. It was trending on Twitter. It was, you know, people were constantly sharing on Instagram, and he really capitalized on that market. Had he delayed a couple of days or a few weeks and thought, oh, I'll get around to it, it's on my to-do list, he might not have had the success that he did, and he probably wouldn't have, you know, been in MKBHD's video, because that would have been created and uploaded, and so he probably would have missed out on tens of thousands of dollars. And I also think that since he had made so many iPhone icons sort of back in the past with Cydia and jailbroken devices, this whole process was much more easier for him to create and package these and create a landing page and get it out there compared to other people who are doing it for the first time. So the fact that he was the first mover in the space to act immediately on this and capitalize on it, I think is because he's had so much time in the past to improve on those skills and be very, very quick with his action. Be transparent is the third factor, and he said that when it comes to building in public on sites like Twitter, it's important to be transparent. A day after he published the icons, he tweeted out this tweet, which created even more hype. It brought another 540,000 impressions and added fuel to an already growing fire. Share what works and share what doesn't. You know, transparency really is visibility. I have in the past year got a lot more into sharing what's working for me on Twitter, and also sharing the mistakes and the lessons that I've learned from these failures. You know, I do a lot of side projects, and through sharing this online with my audience, I enjoy it. It allows me to remember the lessons, and it has allowed me to grow these platforms and these social media accounts. If something like that does interest you, I recommend that you go to the description below right now and you click the Twitter link and you just follow me on Twitter. There I post a lot of tweet threads showcasing how I'm building things online, and you know, there could be some interesting lessons in there that could help you. The fourth factor is to have a clear schedule. Traf mentions in his blog post that a lot of this was happening on a Monday morning. He said, if I were working a more traditional job or had time commitments that I had previously scheduled, I wouldn't have been able to act on my ideas as quickly as I did. I get that not everyone has the privilege of a flexible schedule, but almost anyone can start to move towards it if they want it badly enough. Freedom of a clear schedule allowed me to take action as soon as the inspiration hit, which was incredibly important to maximize exposure. Inspiration is a productivity multiplier, but it's perishable, so act quickly. The fifth insight is to charge more. Now, this insight into this case study is that Traf made so much more money because he charged more. If he had gone ahead and charged these iPhone icons at $2 or $5, which most people would probably, would say is appropriate for some iPhone icons, there's no way he would have had as many sales and given him as much money. You know, even if he did increase his sales past 5,000 customers, he probably wouldn't have made anywhere near as much money as he has. So this is a declaration through this lesson that we're learning here in this example, that it's very important to charge a high price when you have a premium, high quality product that people actually want. You know, something that I've read in a lot of books is to always triple or double your prices and keep doing that until you start to see people stop buying. At that point, you know you've reached the ceiling for your product or your service. And, I think that's the case here. And I also think it's quite important to realize that he packaged these icons and he released them with just a couple of hours work. He didn't really sort of have the whole the market fit. He didn't really go out there and test the market, quiz people, find out how much would you actually pay for this iPhone icon set. You know, most people would have said $2 or $5 or $8 maximum. No one's going to go ahead and say $20, $28 like he did. Like, that's an extremely high amount. And if he had gone ahead and done market research, no one would have said that, no one. And even if one person had said it, they probably would have been the anomaly, because most people want things cheap. But this proves in this example that they want it, but they'll still pay the higher premium price. So it's always important to really check and sort of see, what is this actually worth? Is it valuable? Do people want it? Will they actually pay the price? I also think that people will pay more for a simple service. A lot of people don't really want to sit there and design their own iPhone icons. They just want to buy a preset and apply it and get it done and over with. And just paying a little bit more money is probably a lot more simpler and easier for their life than if they tried to do it themselves. So I think people will be happier paying for a premium service or product. Part 3 of this video is the lessons that we can take away from this example. The first is to ride the wave. I think it's important to remember that you don't always have to, push your product as hard if you're building in public and you've created a dedicated fan base of followers, of passionate people in a growing market. They'll do most of their marketing for you, especially on a platform like Twitter, where all it takes is a single click to retweet and share that that piece of marketing content that you've created to all of their followers, and then they can retweet it, and all of a sudden, you've got this viral tweet that's now doing the marketing for you, and you've done nothing except to write out this status and click tweet. The second lesson that we can take away from this is to go ahead and scratch your own itch. He did this simply through creating an iPhone icon set that he wanted to use, and through doing so, he created such a high quality product that loads of people wanted to purchase one at this high price. He wasn't just creating any old product or anything and putting it together really quickly. He actually wanted to scratch his own itch, and I think that's something we should remember when we create things online. If he wasn't doing this for any purpose other than to make money, he probably wouldn't have made such a good product, and there would have been a slight disconnect between him and his customers, because he wouldn't have understood what their problem actually was, how to solve it, and sort of who actually was experiencing it. And that's something that we need to remember when we're providing services and products to people online. The third lesson that we can take from this is to be patient and be consistent. Sure, it took him just a week to make over 140,000 US dollars from 5,000 customers, and people would consider that an overnight success. Yeah, sure, he did that, but he'd been making iPhone sort of icon sets for like 7 years prior and selling them on Cydia for jailbroken devices. So it wasn't like this was a brand new thing to him. He'd been consistent, he'd been putting in the work for many years, and he'd been building in public for so many years through being consistent and publishing often to develop that foundation of audience that he could then show that to, that allowed him to very quickly get all of those retweets and spread it out amongst the internet to capitalize on this trending topic. So it's very interesting. I really like all of the sort of the lessons that came out of this example. If you want to go ahead and see another case study on how to grow online, I actually have a video of a project that I've done myself, which was how I grew an Instagram account to over 15,000 followers in 90 days. I made an entire video on that and the lessons that I've learned and how you too can use these exact same principles that I did to grow online. If you want to watch that, you can click the link right here. But that's it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, as it really helps me grow on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great day.